Hello and welcome to the 6th video in my Paladin leveling series where I show you how to level from 30 to 80 in dungeons only. In this video I'll be leveling from 54 to 62 in LBRS. This leveling bracket is very exciting because we really start seeing a huge increase in experience gains, and we also receive a massive power boost at level 60. As with all the other videos in this series, I'll be assuming that you've been keeping up to date with your character's gear and enchants and consumables by using the auction house. The consumes I use in this video are elixirs of major strength and fortitude, as well as some major healing and mana potions. I'll have a link down below to my gear and spec setup at level 54 as well as level 60. I chose to stay in LBRS until level 62 due to how easy it is to clear, but alternatively at 60 you can go to Hellfire Ramparts and start trying to collect the socketed gear that drops off of the bosses. However, it is slightly less efficient to kill the bosses, and it is also quite a bit more difficult. I'll have more info about this topic in the next video. In this first clip here, I'm level 54 in LBRS, and you won't be able to pull as much as you can at the higher levels, but I do recommend you experiment with what your character is capable of handling, as we do have to grind out 8 levels in here, and we want to make it as fast as possible. Fortunately for us, the experience is pretty nuts, especially once you reach those higher level ranges. At level 54, I was getting around 130,000 experience with a 20-minute clear, and at level 60, I was pulling that same amount of experience but in only 12 minutes. This means at level 60, it would only take us 2 runs or 25 minutes to level up from 60 to 61. That in itself is pretty crazy, but when Joyous Journeys returns, it's going to be an entire level every single run, which only took us about 12 minutes, so that's pretty crazy. Anyways, when you're doing LBRS, you should always focus the Spellbinders first, as they will just stand and shoot arcane bolts at you, and they can also drain your mana, which is really annoying. The Acolytes will try to heal, and you should interrupt them as much as you can. These should also be your second kill priority. Later in the dungeon, we're going to encounter some Warlocks that summon portals. We want to kill those first, even over the Spellbinders, but in these first packs, there aren't any Warlocks, so you don't have to worry about it. We're still using Seal of Light and Judgment of Light at all times, making sure to keep up Holy Shield and keep Consecration down. You may have noticed I'm wearing a Skullflame shield here, and while it is a decent pickup at level 54, it was pretty underwhelming to use. I found the heal and the damage that the effects do are entirely useless even at a low level. If you don't want to fork over the gold for it, then there won't be a problem using an alternative. Just make sure to get a shield with the highest block value so that when you block, you negate all the damage from that melee attack. 54 is also the level you can start equipping the blue dungeon set gear, such as the Valor set. These items are perfect for us as they have strength, stamina, and agility, which gives us everything we need to survive and pump damage. Some of these blue set items also drop inside of LBRS, so if you wanted to try and save some gold, you could actually loot the mobs in here as you're killing them and try to get those items that you wanted. Back in the day, LBRS was one of my favorite gold farms, and honestly, being in here again makes me want to make another video about it. If you're looking to profit while you're leveling, LBRS is going to be one of the best places you can do it. So after you pull these groups up at the top of the ramp on the right side, we're going to go back down and start going into the bigger area of LBRS. And this is going to be the first spot you encounter the Raiders as well as the Warlocks. The Raiders do have a net ability that can be kind of annoying, because once they net you to the ground, all the casters are going to try and run away and start casting at you. It's just part of their AI. So what I like to do is first get down the Warlock and then quickly swap over to the Raider. That way, if my freedom is on cooldown and I get netted, the casters won't go away and start killing me. You can see on the side here, we're approaching 10 minutes, and we're at around 400,000 experience per hour so far at our current pace, and this is at level 54. When you reach the higher levels, such as level 60, I think I was coming in around 700,000 experience per hour, and I don't know what questing gives at level 54, but I don't think it's 700,000 experience per hour, or anywhere close. It'd actually be really interesting to see what a speed run from 1 to 80 would look like on a Paladin doing dungeons. I feel like it would be a lot faster than the alternative, which is just regular questing. I don't actually know if there's a speedrunning community or any sort of interest in that sort of thing for leveling up a Paladin in Wrath of the Lich King, but it is kind of interesting to think about. Could definitely be a much quicker way to do it, but who really knows? Maybe someday someone crazy will see these and decide they want to speedrun a 1 to 80 Paladin. That would be cool. Once you get to these packs down here in this little pit, we use this rock to LOS. Make sure that you don't try to go between the rocks, because the rocks for some reason will bug these mobs out. They'll start doing that weird thing where they teleport thanks to Blizzard's anti-boosting or farming mechanics, whatever their stupid decision was to put that in, which I still don't understand to this day. Just be aware that these mobs do run away when they're low on HP, and they can run towards the bridge and pull the extra group. So if you want to pull the ones by the bridge first, you can absolutely do that. Just do it however you want to do it, really. The remainder of this run is extremely self-explanatory. At 54, we're only killing these orc packs in the larger area with the 2 bridges here. Once all the orc packs are dead, we're going to run out and reset the dungeon. This is going to be the same exact method we'll use to clear all the way until we're level 60, and then once you're level 60, you can start incorporating the bottom level of the LBRS to access the higher level mobs. It's too dangerous to take them on before level 60 because they have extremely high fire damage, and we're going to need Hammer of the Righteous to make sure we have enough healing and damage to get them down. I'll let the remainder of this level 54 clip play out, and then I'll show you some clips from a level 60 run where I did drop down and kill some of those extra mobs. So in this clip, I'm level 60 and I'm approaching the last group to kill right now, and then we're going to be hopping down and killing some of these extra groups. This is because the regular clear is now only taking us less than 8 minutes to do, so we have a little bit of extra time and we want to squeeze as much experience in here as possible. The mobs down here have higher damage, fire spells, as well as the Mortal Strike in and Enrage. You should aim to cleanse any debuffs off of yourself when you see them and try not to overpull too many groups. You can very quickly become overwhelmed and you won't be able to out-heal the high damage with the Mortal Strike debuff. With level 60 green items, you should be able to pull 3 groups or so before it becomes too much. This is why it's super important that when you're level 60, you go to the auction house and you try to purchase as many things as you can. Don't forget, I have a link down below to the level 60 gear in this clip that I used as well. The of the champion suffix for these green items that come from TBC are extremely strong as they provide defense, strength, and stamina, which is perfect for these dungeon solos. You can also grab some level 60 PvP gear by either doing battlegrounds or sending yourself honor using Stonekeeper shards or arena points. Many level 60 PvP items are extremely strong choices and can last for quite a while before they get replaced. The PvP sword is actually really strong because it's super slow with a 2.9 weapon swing timer. And not only that, but it's also a level 60 weapon, which means that we can actually put berserking on it and increase our damage by quite a bit. Now, of course, this isn't a requirement. You can continue using Thrash Blade or whatever heirloom you have. But having that level 60 weapon with a Wrath enchant on it is pretty strong and probably will save you a lot of time. I should also mention that now that you're level 60, any Wrath enchant can now be put on your gear as long as that item is level 60 or above. This means that any defense enchant or really anything you want can go on your gear. This, combined with level 60 talents, combined with the gear that you get, makes for a super big power spike once you hit level 60. Once you hit 12 minutes inside the dungeon, you're going to want to reset the dungeon and do it again. So I log out on top of one of these tents, and that sends us back to the instance portal and allows us to exit quickly. You'll do this until you're level 62 when we're going to move on to Hellfire Ramparts. So that's pretty much it for this video today, guys. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, leave them down below in a comment, and join the Discord. We also have a lot of helpful people in there, and you can ask them questions or whatever you need to do. Make sure you sub to the channel so you don't miss out on the next guide, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.